going on, guys? It's your boy Dylan Villain, and we're coming back at you once again with some total extreme wrestling. It is Monday, week 3. We are slowly closing in to SummerSlam. It is time for some Monday Night Raw. We are in Arrowhead Pond in front of 19,000 strong, and I believe it's a sold-out crowd. We're going to go ahead and kick off the pre-show in an abysmal pre-show match. Vampiro defeats Bull Buchanan, Barry Buchanan, in 12:38 by pinfall with a nail in the coffin, which is kind of like a modified jumping tombstone power driver. Vampiro with a 46 and Bull Buchanan with a 18. Barry Buchanan seemed off his game, and Nelson color commentary gave the match a boost. And in our last pre-show match of the night, we have Ken Shamrock taking on Jake Roberts. Ken Shamrock picks up a win against Jake Roberts in 12:57 by a submission with an ankle lock. The match got an 80. Not bad. 81 by Ken Shamrock in 66. That's the color commentary, gave the match a boost. And Jake Roberts is penalized due to having going through personal effects. We're going to go ahead and start the show. It gets a 100. I wouldn't expect anything less than that. Bret Hart and the Hart Foundation come out. Davey Boy Smith and Jim Neidhart come out. And they go, we're sick and tired of these accusations against us that we are the ones, the Hart Foundation, that myself, Davey Boy, and Jim are the ones who attacked Kurt Angle, taking him out of the WWF Championship matchup at last month's pay-per-view. And I think it's just ludicrous. I think it's ridiculous that anybody would assume that a family like the Harts or somebody in the Hart Foundation would do something like this. And I think it's not right. And I know that you Americans believe that us Canadians are evil people, but we never would sink down to those levels. We're not cowards. We take on our challenges and we face them head on. And we are not the ones who attacked Kurt, and we don't know who attacked Kurt or why they attacked Kurt. But it definitely wasn't us three. And Kurt Angle comes out and he goes, as an Olympic gold medalist, as I value the 3 I's: intensity, integrity, and intelligence and integrity. He goes, I thought you would have some integrity, Bret, and be honest and admit that you hired somebody to do it. I mean, we've seen video footage. Owen showed the footage, and Owen's out there with Kurt, and he's just like, you say you're not a coward. He goes, you've been ducking me for months now, knowing that I can beat you in a match, given one-on-one. And so tonight, why don't we go one-on-one? And Bret's just like, no. And then Owen's just like, I tell you what, Bret, you always were the coward out of the family. He goes, I'll make it interesting for you. He goes, let's make it a tag team match, right? And he's like, you can team up with Davey, Kurt will team up with me, we'll make it a tag team match, right? So you can have an excuse. You can blame Davey for losing when Kurt finally beats you. You can blame it all on Davey not watching your back. Kurt's like, not Kurt, Bret is like, I'm not a coward, but since you want to make it a tag team match, let's go ahead and make it a tag team match. So that is tonight's main event, is Bret Hart and Davey Boy Smith taking on Kurt Angle and Owen Hart. We go to a tag team matchup. It's the Hollies taking on Bob and Crush, and Bob Holly beats Crush with a Falcon Arrow. Bob Holly carried the match. Bob Holly doing some great stuff here. We gave him a little push for a little while, and he capitalized on that and gained him quite a bit of pop. Crash Holly with a 49, Bob Holly with a 63, Bob and Crush with a 51 respectively. Bob and Crush have great chemistry teaming together. Nelson color commentary gave the match a boost. The match got a 61. Not bad. We go on to this segment, which got an 88. And we see Camp Cornette just chilling out backstage. And all of a sudden, Dwayne Gill walks in. And he's crying. And he's like, Jim, please, Jim, please, Jim, please. And Jim Cornette's just like, who the hell let him in this locker room? He goes, what? How do you know me? And who are you? And he goes, I know. You don't remember who I am. But Jim, you managed me quite some months ago, and I fell on some hard times, Jim. I've had financial problems. The IRS is coming down on me. I haven't been featured on TV a lot lately, and I've been, I'm not being able to make my payments. So, I bought that new house after I won the WWF championship, Jim. You remember you helped me pick it out, and Jim's just like, what the hell? He goes, I think I remember you. Yeah. What do you want? And he's like, look, Jim. He goes, you got your share. You got your share of the of the contract, and you got your share out of the contract, and it seems like I got the short end of the stick. You said the agreement was 80-20, with me having 80, but the more I look at this, the more I realize it seems like you got the 80 and I got the 20. And Jim's just like, well, yeah, that's what you assigned to. That's what you agreed to. I get 80 to manage you to the top. You see, you're not a proven talent like Rob Van Dam, Steve Corino, and Mike Awesome. You were nobody, and I turned you into a somebody. And he's just like, well, I think we need to sign a new contract, and I want to be a part of Camp Cornette. I was a former world champion. Your Cornette's just like, nah, I don't think that's going to work. I don't think that's going to work here. And he's like, what? And Jim's like, yeah, me managing you, I don't think you're going to work. You're not featured on TV. You ain't bringing me any money. You ain't making me any money. You ain't bringing me any money. So that's going to be a hard no. And Dwayne Gill then grabs him and goes, he gets all mad. And he's like, I want my effing money. I want my money. And Mike Awesome steps up. He goes, problem, boss? And Jim Cornette shoves him off of him and goes, you know what? Yeah, I think there is a problem. And I think you two boys I think you can solve that problem for me, Mike. And Mike's just like, no problem. I can handle that problem. And then he grabs Dwayne Gill and they start brawling right there. They start in the back and they make their way to the ring. And in a decent match, this is Mike Awesome's longest match, actually, in 8-17 by pinfall with an awesome bomb, 81, not bad. Mike Awesome defeats Dwayne Gill on TV. Dwayne Gill with an 86, and Mike Awesome with a 55. Camp Cornette storyline advances. Mike Awesome benefited from having a hot new move. Color and commentary announcing gave the match a boost, like always. We then go backstage, and we see Vince, Shane, and Stephanie in the office, and Stephanie's upset. And she's like, it was the worst date I've ever had. And Vince is just like, yeah, well, it got ruined by Austin and The Rock. And he's just like, don't worry. Me and Shane's been talking, and we came up with a solution to handle Rock and Austin interfering in your dates again. And Stephanie's just like, look, I don't want to go on another date with anybody, right? And I don't want to go on a date with anybody, especially Chris Jericho. And all of a sudden, at this time, Triple H walks in, and he stares at Stephanie, and Stephanie stares at him, and Stephanie kind of looks him up and down. Before, Stephanie wasn't real into Triple H, and she just looks at him like, why are you looking at me? And Triple H just shakes his head, and he walks up to Vince, and he's just like, you wanted to see me? Vince is like, yes. You won the King of the Ring, and you're the Intercontinental Champion, and you won King of the Ring, and you're going on to SummerSlam to face for the World Wrestling Federation World Heavyweight Championship. And I really don't like having a co-champion. I don't like a champion having two titles in the World Wrestling Federation. So me and Shane's been talking, and we feel like that next week on Monday Night Raw that you should vacate your Intercontinental Championship matchup so we can have a Intercontinental Championship match at SummerSlam, being one of our biggest pay-per-views. We believe it's only right that the title gets defended at the pay-per-view. Triple H kind of gives them a look, and He's like, you want the Intercontinental Championship? He's just like, Vince is like, yeah, yeah. And Triple H is like, even though I never lost my championship, that I've been defending my championship for almost a year now, and you just want me to give it to you because I'm facing for the World Wrestling Federation World Heavyweight Championship. Vince is like, that is correct. Triple H then looks down at his title and he looks down at the Intercontinental title on his shoulder. He looks over at it and looks back at Vince and he's like, take it. Vince is like, well, we were going to do a ceremony and all that stuff next week. And Triple H is like, I don't care about your goddamn ceremony. He goes, if I have to give this up to get what I want, to prove that I am the best wrestler in the World Wrestling Federation today, then here, take it. He throws it on the desk and he walks out. Triple H just hands over the Intercontinental Championship and he just walks out. Walks right out of the office like nothing ever happened. And Vince is looking at Shane and everything like that. And Stephanie watches Triple H walk out of the office and she kind of eyeballs him down. And we move on to our next segment here. Triple H basically giving him the championship. In a decent match, Vader defeats Bradshaw and Road Warrior Hawk. When Vader depins Hawk, Vader was head and shoulders and Bradshaw was a weak link, struggling to keep up with everybody else. Vader with 87 and Bradshaw with a 48 and Hawk with a 73. The match suffered in selling. These three men are not known for their selling. Announcing color commentary gave the match a boost. We're going to move on to the next segment. Yes. In this segment, Big Show comes out the ring. He challenges Raven to a match. He said he beat the Hardys. He beat Mick. He beat the Hardys. There's nobody else to beat but Raven. He wants the hardcore title back. Raven's just like, I'm not going to face you. I'm only going to face you. Like, he comes down to the ring, and he's still out on the outside of the ring. He's like, I'm not going to face you in a one-on-one match. He's like, I'll face you in a tag team match with Mick. But, he's like, since you don't have a partner, I guess we're not going to have that match. All of a sudden, Terry Funk's music hits. And Terry Funk makes his way down to the thing, and Raven and Mick Foley kind of look at each other, and they step aside as he gets in the ring with the Big Show, and he's just like, hey, big man, I heard that you needed a tag team partner, and look no further, fella, you found him. He's like, I've had personal beef with Raven for a long time, and I'm not going to have him disgrace the name of hardcore wrestling. Wrestling that I made famous, my blood, sweat, and tears that I bled. I'm not going to let you disgrace that. So I'm going to beat your ass here tonight. And we move on to that tag team matchup. In an exceptional match, Raven and Mick Foley defeat Big Show and Terry Funk. When Raven pinned Terry Funk with the even flow DDT, Terry Funk was the weak link, struggling to keep up with everybody else. The match still got an 88. Not bad. Everybody got an 85. 95. That's awesome stuff. That's the hardcore storyline advances, but loses heat. Raven benefited from having a hot new move, and Mick Foley with the crowd support. We didn't go to commercial, but before we go to commercial, we have this weird segment promo, and it's two little girls, and they're running around and they're playing and singing nursery rhymes and everything like that. And they're going 1, 2, he's coming for you. 3, 4, like the Freddy Krueger type thing, but instead of saying Freddy, they're not saying who it is. We see a crow on some tombstones, and the crows are hawking. Very reminiscent of Sting style promos here. On Shotgun Saturday Night, it was very Undertaker-ish, and now it's more leaning towards it could be Sting. In the promo, we do know that Undertaker and Sting that Sting took control of the Undertaker and was using Undertaker to pretty much do all that stuff, but the Undertaker didn't vanish, and we haven't seen the Undertaker since then, and Sting said he was going to come back with a better plan and have his revenge on Vince McMahon. He still is dead set to destroy the World Wrestling Federation, but these vignettes are quite mysterious on who they could be. They could be Undertaker, they could be Sting. Now, we really don't know who it could be. But we are going to move on to the next segment of the night, and it is Dean Malenko taking on Ultimo Dragon. I thought this match was going to do a little bit better. I should have known. They fought each other before. Dean Malenko with an 84 and Ultimo Dragon with a 76. Dean Malenko picks up the win. By pinfall, the match got a 71. We didn't go on to backstage, and we see Vince and Shane standing in the office, and in walk The Rock and Steve Austin at the same time. And both men are looking at each other, and Rock lets Austin go first, and Rock follows behind him. Vince is like, just the two men I wanted to see. And Austin's just like, you must not be very smart, because nothing I want more than to whoop your ass right now. And Vince is like, hold on. Don't do that. That's stupid. That's really dumb if you would do something like that. He goes, I'll tell you what we are going to do. He basically like, I'm going to tell you what we are going to do. He goes, y'all two have been a pain in my side for a long time now. Long time now. And, there's only one way that I can think of fixing my problem with the both of y'all. You see, Rock, you want to date my daughter, and Steve, you've been interfering in matches and attacking authority figures and doing all this stuff, and there's only one way that I can think of solving my problem. So next week on Monday Night Raw, I'm going to reward both of y'all. And they both look at each other and they're like, what? He goes, that's right, I'm going to reward both of y'all. You see, Triple H is going to go and fight for the World Wrestling Federation World Heavyweight Championship, and it's only fair that he vacates the Intercontinental Championship to have that opportunity. SummerSlam being one of our biggest pay-per-views of the year, we only think it's right that the Intercontinental title gets defended at the pay-per-view. And with that being said, one of y'all two men will become co-number one contender for this Intercontinental Championship. And he holds up the newly vacated Intercontinental Championship that Triple H just threw down on the desk. And Rock and Austin look at each other and go, why us? And Vince is just like, well, you see, one of y'all will be moving on to the co-main event of SummerSlam. But the other one is going to be fired. And he starts laughing. And Stone Cold looks at The Rock, and Rock looks at Steve Austin, and he goes, Steve Austin looks at him and goes, so what you're trying to tell me is you're going to fire one of us. Didn't you do this before? And Vince kind of stops, and he's just like, nobody remembers that. And Austin's just like, well, it didn't work out so good for you last time, now did it? He goes, I don't care about the stipulation about me getting fired or any of that. And he goes, this man has never beaten me, and I don't plan on him beating me. And Austin's just like, well, if whoever wins out of us, who's going to face who at the pay-per-view? He's like, the winner of y'all two will go on and face Chris Jericho for the Intercontinental Championship at SummerSlam. And if you can't beat Chris Jericho at SummerSlam, then you're fired. So, both these men will have to face each other all next week's Monday Night Raw, and whoever loses is going to be fired. And then they got to face Chris Jericho at the pay-per-view, and if they lose at the pay-per-view, they will be fired. So Vince McMahon is dead set on getting rid of one of them. Getting rid of both men, knowing that these two men don't like each other very much. But both men, the winner basically receiving a opportunity to win the Intercontinental Championship against Chris Jericho at SummerSlam. Who will win that matchup next week? We will have to find out next week. I'm sure that's going to be the main event of Monday Night Raw next week. But we are going to move on to the next segment here. And it is our main event. In an acceptable match, Bret Hart and Davey Boy Smith defeat Kurt Angle and Owen Hart. When Bret Hart pinned Kurt Angle using the ropes as leverage. That is kind of what's supposed to happen, but not really. What is supposed to happen is, let's see if the road agent notes, miscommunication by Owen Hart. So Kurt Angle was going to tag in Owen, and Owen had his hand out. He's like, "Come on, Kurt, tag me." And then when Kurt went to go tag, Owen just stepped off the ring and started laughing at Kurt, and Kurt's like, what the hell? And then Bret runs in and does a quick roll up, 1, 2, 3 on Kurt. As Bret and Davey Boy run out the ring, and they pretty much look like Owen just turned his back on Kurt Angle, and it does. As all four men stand on the rope, on the thing, and Owen grabs the mic and he goes, "You're so stupid, Kurt. Each and every single one of you people here tonight in the Arrowhead Pond Arena are stupid too. Y'all fell for the oldest trick in the book. Two brothers fighting, two brothers at each other's necks. You think I'm going to turn my back on my brother? You think I'm going to sell out to my brother? You think I'm going to team up with a stupid little American like you and sell out my family name and cause disgrace to my family name? No. No, I did what I had to do to make sure that my brother stayed the World Heavyweight Champion here in the WWF. And you want to know who attacked you, Kurt? Well, I think the answer is pretty obvious. But if you didn't know, let's show the footage. And it shows the footage at the pay-per-view. And it shows Owen running up behind Kurt with a pipe and hitting him in the head. And then throwing the pipe in a dumpster. And then going up to Kurt and screaming. Walking off camera and walking back on camera. And he's starting to scream, you know, for help and everything like that. And Kurt looks defeated. Kurt looks upset. And Owen's just laughing. He's just like, "You're a fool. You're a fool. It was me. I'm the one who attacked you." And we didn't lie. We didn't lie. We didn't mislead you in any way. Because I wasn't a part of the Hart Foundation. Until tonight. And then he hugs his brother and everything like that as Kurt just looks defeated. He sits on his knees in the ring, and he starts crying as he looked up to Owen. He thought Owen was his friend, one of the few people he can trust here in the World Wrestling Federation. But it seems like he couldn't trust Owen. We're gonna go ahead and finish the show. The show got a 95, guys. Increased our popularity in 33 regions, Canada in 5, but we need to get a better Canadian TV deal. I don't know who that guy is, but he's obviously a generated character. But my name is Dylan Villain. Thank y'all for watching this. WCW got a new feud between Ric Flair and Kevin Nash. Kevin Nash being the star of the show. Let's see here. Scott Hall and Ric Flair defeat Randy Savage and Diamond Dallas Page in a steel cage match. Kevin Nash defeats Joey Maggs. Nothing too special here. They got an 85, but nothing too special. Hogan's away making movies, so yeah. Anyway, thank y'all for watching the video, guys. My name is Dylan Villain. If you are new to the channel and like what you see and want to see more, the subscribe icon will be over the Monday Night Raw logo. And if you want to go back and watch previous episode, guys, that playlist will be in last night results. My name is Dylan the Villain. Thank y'all for watching Monday Night Raw. And like we always say here at Pro Am Gaming, if you can't play with each other, do what I do and play with yourself. See you later, guys.